Hi, my name's James, and here's what I like to do. Run. Run a little faster. Run a little slower. Run over hills. Run a bit faster. Recover from running. Run over grass with a ball. Run like really fast. And I like to bike so I can run more. Now, I'm sure what you can gather up to this point is that I really like running. And it's kind of like everything that I do and all that I have goals for and all that I've structured my life around. I ran in college, I ran for Team USA, and someday, I'd really like to go to the Olympics. Now, I know I can't just like say that kind of thing without like prefacing it around some sort of like credential or thing, but I'm only like 4 seconds off in the 800, and the next Olympics is in, let's see, 987 days. But there's just one problem. This, I can't do any of it right now. I'm not allowed to run. Hello. About 3 months later. A lot has changed, but so much has stayed the same. Let's talk about it. So I recorded that first half around the end of September and put it together and thought that, hey, we are about a month in to not running and I'll be running again soon. And here we are in the 6th month. So I'm gonna use this mostly to discuss how I have been navigating this extended period of downtime, which in our sport, I'm sure everyone goes through at least one of these in their career. So my top 3 right away. I was allowed to continue walking and doing yoga. That's the full extent of the active capabilities that I've had. And for me personally, I literally can't even make myself do that much because of how little impact I feel that is having on my fitness. Now, the other 2 pieces of this are trying to understand where that perspective comes from. Why do we, or at least for myself, push ourselves so hard in this sport? And 2, why is it so hard to take a break? So to address those questions, obviously I alluded to it, I got a journal that I have been documenting every day, habit, feeling, emotion, everything that's been going on since I got that news at the end of October. Some days better than others, some days definitely very bad. And some periods of time, like you can see here, there's about half a month of time missing from my habit tracker. So I haven't been the absolute best, but I think that this has actually been one of the most powerful tools that I've implemented in keeping myself sane. Now the other one being therapy, which we'll talk more about.
Even though like it doesn't make sense in my mind, how does resting help me reach my long-term goal of achieving that level? Well, because this is what your body needs right now. It's not going to be like this forever. So you're having to use a lot of mental strength right now to, keep yourself going and not let yourself dip down into that dark hole and just say, I got to keep going, whichever level I'm allowed to keep going at, but I'm going to keep going. And maybe it's not the pace that I like or that feels good to me, but this is what I need to do for me right now. And I'm still gonna have that goal, like long-term goal in the back of my mind, because that's what I really want for myself. And don't let go of it. And if doctors say like, well, we don't know if you're gonna get back to that other level, doctors say that all the time.
Yeah.
But they don't know what you're capable of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had that same, like when I was growing up, I had 2 Achilles surgeries when I was 6 years old, and I was in Forrest Gump boots, and I had like the same situation of like, he'll never do any like organized sports, like, yeah. Like,
well, you already told this and you already overcame this. So there's something inside of you that believes that you are capable of doing amazing things. So don't lose sight of that. It's still in there.
It is really hard to like hold it, I think. I have the same conversation with myself every time. Like, yeah, like you gotta stay, like you gotta stay directed. Like even all work is work towards a goal. Like it's not like necessarily being pushed back, it's just kind of being paused. Whereas like the progress that you've made is still progress, and then you just take smaller steps for a little while.
Yeah, what is this period of your life teaching you right now? It's, you know, teaching you how to like use your mind to pause and maybe like learn about what are the benefits of pausing in life. What can I do during this time of pause?
So my big ones that I've kind of talked about are journaling, write off, picked up reading, and kind of leaned into some other hobbies that I've kind of put on the back burner since, you know, I was 17 or 18 when I started really seriously pursuing running. And speaking to some other friends, it feels like that's kind of the best way to go about these periods of time, especially when you are forced to step away from the sport. Rediscovering those sides of yourself that are usually neglected during training, I feel are the strongest ways to keep yourself in one piece. I've had conversations with people around me who are going through similar things with large extended periods off from training. And in this environment, obviously it's not something that people usually talk about. Me personally, I've gone mostly dark on social media, and that seems to be like the default reaction for most people. As soon as the value of performance is sort of lost in running, you know, people kind of eke themselves away from the spotlight. You think of all these high profile cases. I'm not going to name any specific people, but generally speaking, when people get hurt in this position, we step away. Now, in my head, that leaves a huge gap in identity. Obviously, like running for people who are pursuing goals like the Olympics is something that is unique, but can also be relatable in the sense that everyone who trains for something that is important to them will experience a setback, and there are similar people who are pursuing the same goal who will face similar setbacks. Now, obviously I'm using my example, it's extreme, but it's incredibly real and incredibly applicable. So I sat down to edit and actually finish the video, and I realized I never got to the point. And I think that the point is that regardless of what happens during training, there are always things that you can do to engage with the sport. And even though I'm not training in a traditional sense, I think that in some ways it's made me really appreciate the ability to be healthy and to race. And I really hope that moving forward, I'm not gonna take that for granted. So I guess that ultimately this is just me expressing that I want to start appreciating what I can do more, despite my brain actively working against me and doing the things that I know I should be doing. So here we are, 875 days to go with the same goals and maybe a new mentality and lots of updates to come. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.